Good morning here from Sheffield. Match has started. France scoring a quick goal against South Africa. That's a wake-up call for South Africa, going down 1-0 in the first minute. I didn't see it as I just walked into the commentating box. And at the same time, South Africa under 24 women are playing against, I think, the Netherlands in Court A. So in Court B, we have South Africa, game number 119, down 1-0. As they just broke through the South African defence and swam straight in the goal box. Right, South Africa need to regroup here very quickly. Good pick up there by the French player, not allowing South Africa to get the puck onto the player's stick. Small little French player here, number 7, Vincent, doing very well for GB, taking on Ryan, one of our big boys, and not standing back 1 inch. Number 7 again for South Africa. Austin Olfring sitting out yesterday with a small little chest condition, but he's all fine and doing well. His brother Liam playing in the 19 team, who just lost against the GB men 2-1, and South Africa vice captain Alma Shalia taking it, keeping the puck on the stick, opening up to Brandon van Wyk, our speedster, and off they go into open play, picked up by GB, putting up by France, putting a lot of pressure on our number 7 there, Austin, the back, and the French players opening it up again, not allowing South Africa any open play. Go South Africa, just a chip and chase, picked up by France. France playing white against the South African playing black. Play against the side of the wall there. French players swimming hard as they get the puck onto the stick. A lot of pressure on the South African defenders as we have a left-handed French player getting the puck into position, into open play. A lot of pressure, and they should finish it off. Yes, well done to the French players. Not a good day for South Africa so far. South Africa in Court A, 1-0 up against the Netherlands for our ladies on the 24 team. And the 19 ladies also going down. I didn't get that final score. Right, so all of a sudden we have the French 2-0 up against South Africa in Court B, game 119. South Africa desperately need to regroup, as you can't give the goals away so early in the game. Up, picked up by the South African player, and starting underneath the body, trying to open space. Let's see if we get Ryan, keep going. Good play by South Africa, they should finish it off. Yeah. And stoppage and play called. Let's see if we get confirmation. Goal awarded. Well done, South Africa. Goal awarded to Eckhart Engelbrecht. Well done, boy. So it's 2-1 with 4.5 minutes gone, with the French opening up this game number 119 with a goal in the first, probably the quickest goal in the tournament. In this league, definitely. It was like in the first 20 seconds, I was just coming in a second or two late, and it was 1-0. Right, South Africa in Court B, taken by Alma Shalia, flicked out to the white side to Brandon van Wyk underneath the substitution box. On the far side of the pool, as the French take it again, look at the French speedsters not being able to swim away from Brandon. Unfortunately for the French, flicking into open space, not being picked up by the French winger, Michel Salia, coming into play. And the South Africans getting their bodies down. The French, beautiful play by this left-handed French player. Chip and chase, going over the body of the South African defender and picking it up again. Right, so South Africa defending hard again. A lot of pressure on the South Africans. Infringement against France, so that's a breather for South Africa. As I said earlier, it's a bit overcast outside. Kids had a good dinner last night. Once again, nice little walk up to Cosmos and back. Just stretching the legs after dinner, just allowing the food to sink down. And the South Africans, just a small little fumble there by our vice captain as he was about to offload, but a fumble, and couldn't get the puck out to the side as he wanted to. Picked up by the French defenders, a small turn, drawing the South African number 3 in, and then not allowing space, played by Alma Salia, just trying to push it through underneath the body as you see the French players coming in to defend on the wall. Picked up by Brandon, good flick out there by Ryan, and Ryan van Styl still playing, just trying to open up space for his vice captain. Picked up by Austin. If he could get that through to Brandon, he does. A lot of pressure on the defenders from France. Brandon won against the 2 defenders. Picked up by South Africa, flicked into the goal box area, and that should be a goal. Yes, goal confirmed. 1, 2, 3 refs by number 13 for South Africa, Cameron Stephen, finishing that one off, the captain. Well done to the dad, Robert, back home, and Daniel, the brother, and to Linda here in Sheffield, joining us as part of the management team and putting this lovely tour together. Right, so the French are 10 players, South Africa are 10 players, French playing white against South Africa black. As we have kickoff, good comeback by South Africa, not taking it on the chin. French again, a hard drive through the middle of the pool, big flick and chase, a lot of pressure on the South African players. And they need to regroup very quickly here, as we have 3 French players on the South African defence line. How they kept that puck out. Ah, yeah, that's a goal. No, stoppage in play. Puck was in the goal area. Refs call an infringement. Team timeout called by the South African black players. Henry Mouton, goal not awarded due to infringement, as you see on your monitor back home, wherever you're watching. You see the big French coach there, big lad, talking to his French players. And South Africa get a relief. What's interesting about the French kind of play, they swim it into space, get players down, and then the players come in the middle area and swim it hard onto South African goals. So they don't like the bashing game, they like the open game. French putting a lot of pressure on South Africa, going up 2-0, and a good character shown by the South African under-24 men by coming back. Goal scored by Eckhard Engelbrecht, and then followed up by a good goal by Cameron Stephen, the captain. Vice captain Elmar Salia with his brother Michel Salia in the team. Setting out for this game is Lorcan Slobbert. And South Africa will start this, flicking it out to the wide to Brandon van Wyk, our speedster on the wing there. As we have the French players not allowing South Africa space. Good swim by the French men again. South Africa taking at the corner. Good regroup there by South Africa as the French speedster came through, picked up by probably Austin, the back, or Dirk van Reden, whose ankle is all good and well. Hallo daar Syria. Your man is reg. South Africa on the 2-meter line, 7 meters out. Picked up, flick to the outside. South Africa want to stay there, get their positions right. Underneath the substitution box, the French players, good body position. Look at that beautiful curl, picked up by South Africa. Unfortunately, couldn't capitalize on that. Good swim there, well done Ryan. Good pick up by the French, flicked over the stick of the South African defender onto the left-handed player from France. I think his name is Chardonnay or Cabernet or Pinotage, as we have South Africa defending in the wall. Infringement called. South Africa would love to get away there. We nearly had Ryan an open play getting it away, but good defense there by the French back. Refs in position. South Africa get the advantage on that call on the 2-meter line. About 7-8 meters out, 10 meters out, as we have South Africa substitution there, and a white timeout call by France with 5 minutes to go in the first half, 2-all. Right, so South Africa and the 24 ladies up 2-0 in court A. Right, so 30 seconds to go for team timeout call. Black has called their timeout in this half. And so timeouts are done. Timeout black, timeout white, just marking on my score sheet. Goal scored by Cameron and goal scored by Eckhart, number 11 and 13. Game to start with 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Down South Africa goes. That Elmar sliding, a good slide there, good flick onto the side to his brother Michel, picked up by the vice captain trying to pick it up. Eckhart coming into play there. Number 11 for South Africa, Austin following up, Ryan in there. How that puck came out into the French players, good pressure on South Africa by the French forwards. The French players doing exceptionally well, a lot of pressure on South Africa. Swimming straight through the South African players. And unfortunately for South Africa, we're allowing the French to start swimming and putting pressure on our defense. Number 10, goal scored by Antoine Grandamas. Well done, Antoine. Number 10. Right, so the refs are ready. 4 minutes to go. Not a good position for South Africa to be in. They want to start leading. And good kick-off by the French players. Brandon prominent in that move there. Again, Brandon. Brandon playing very well for South Africa. Very proud moment there for his mom back home and dad and followers. And South Africa swimming very, very hard onto the back wall there. The French players coming down as the South African forward there looking up, waiting for the indication from his support play to come in. South Africa black playing white, and South Africa can get this puck out. Unfortunately for them, good defense by the French once again with 3 minutes to go. South Africa just need to reconcile, restructure their play. Good play by the French. Swimming underneath the body of the South African defender. Number 7, Austin Elfering, doing exceptionally well there. A lot of pressure on him to stop that wave. And underneath the body, good play there by Ryan van Zyl, flicking it into open space. Not picked up by the South African forward, but by the French defender. And South Africa will try to swing this. Dangerous flick into open play. And a lot of pressure on the South African defenders. Always dangerous. You know, that could be a moment of glory for South Africa, but picked up by the French player. As we have stoppage in play. Like we said, a 50-50 flick can go any way. You can, it's like in rugby, you can go for interception. If you don't get it, you're under pressure. If you get it, you're the hero. So down we go. South Africa get the advantage back call. 2 minutes, 21 seconds to go. 3-2 down. South Africa would love to get back on the scoreboard, slowing down the game with our big players. Beautiful play there by South Africa. Good play by Michel Celia. Let's see if he can pick up his player. He does. Good play there. Swim hard. These French players are just unreal as they take that puck off that speedster from South Africa. Eckhart. Good play there by Brandon. Just a small little left-right movement. Keeping control. Being forced into the corner by the French players. South Africa will take that. They'll have to stay here. They just need to stay here for 1 minute 30 seconds. The moment will come as the French try and swim it out. Once again, the French doing very well. They've got the caterpillar move going. 1 minute 22 seconds to go. Frenchman call against South Africa. Stick infringement, body blocking there confirmed by the chief ref on the deck. 3 refs in the water, 1 chief ref, timekeepers and scorekeepers on the table. And South Africa on the defence here as the vantage puck goes to the French players. South Africa body going over the top. Oh, come on, South Africa. You had it there, just a small little fumble. And the fumble allows us, the French players, to get momentum going. Infringement called. Once again, against the French team. Stick infringement with 30 seconds to go. So Africa, we saw earlier on, with under 19 men scoring a goal in the last 4 seconds, like we had under 24 ladies yesterday also scoring a goal in the last few seconds to draw that match late last night. So Africa get that vantage back, hard swim straight through, French expecting a flick, a lot of pressure with 10 seconds to go. If we can, I doubt that we'll score from that position. The French are knowing it just as well as we do. There's only 10 seconds to go. They'll slow the go down, they'll take that, they'll even cause an infringement if it needs to be, and that's half time. Well, South Africa coming back well, being down 1-0 in the first few seconds, then 2-0, and then coming back, drawing the 2-2, and then giving a goal away again, with you seeing Lorcan Slobert there on the deck, picking up all the water bottles, extra fins, and assisting his teammates, with Henry Mouton being the coach here for the 24 men. A lot of pressure on our coaches to perform, as we have a lot of feedback and support from South Africa. As you know, the best coaches and the best players aren't in the water. They're always commentating and giving their opinion on what you should do, flick, swim, turn, and a lot of pressure on our coaches just to keep their heads together, motivate the players. And South Africa are sport enthusiasts and not always good losers. Right, so terug thuis. And for the people of France watching, well done with your team, going up 3-2 at halftime. And Court A, South Africa are up 2-0 against the under 24 Dutch team. Right, so the refs there are having a chat to the chief ref. Some good refereeing taking place, game flowing. South Africa, extreme pressure on them here to win this game, as we have the sponsors on showing their logos on your overlay. Wherever possible, please support them. We're very grateful for them. The French team are in an excellent position here. Hopefully we don't allow a quick goal again. And the 24 men will be playing against New Zealand later today at 16:50 SA time. So that'll be a tough game for them as well. So they need to win this one to keep their position on the log, or even to improve it. They don't want to take a loss. Come on, South Africa. Hier so in die kommentaarbox. Baie moeilik om kalm te bly. Dankie vir Charmaine Smit en vir Nico wat vir my sulke suig lozenges lekkertjies gekoop het vir my keel, behalwe vir die kommentaarwerk. Skree mense ons lag langs die water ook en raak betrokke. Hier kan jy nie te veel emosie wys nie. You've got to stay calm in the commentating box, as I got a red card yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Righto, up we go. 10 seconds to go before we have start of play in the second half. Lorcan Slobert sitting out for South Africa. I haven't got the French name of the French player sitting out. Right, so South Africa, good play there by Brandon, not allowing the French to capitalise on that first kick-off they had, scoring a goal. And Dirk van Reenen coming into play there at the back there. You can see his ankle is not strapped there, serious. So ankle is nie rebind nie. Good play by South Africa. Come on, boys. Sliding out to the side. Good position for South Africa. And nearly intercepted by the French players. South Africa playing black. Watch out as South Africa turn in the open area. Picked up by the South African back, Dirk van Reenen, once again putting onto the stick of of Brandon, taken off by the French players onto their left-hand side wing, who's a lefty, good player there, very small, but he's got the capability of chipping and following up by putting his body over the South African defender and just capitalizing on his good athletic skills. So we got South Africa bodies down, waiting for the opportunity to come, as a lot of play taking place into open space, and good play there by South Africa. Good pickup by Eckhart, just waiting to see what he can do. Unfortunately intercepted by the French player. Go down, boys, go down, Eckhart. You need to stay down, guys. Come on, Eckhart, get your body in position. Swimming straight through the South African defense line there. Again, let's see if we can get South Africa to capitalize on this position. Our number 11 player not getting, Eckhart not getting down quickly enough. It's a 3-meter pool. If you don't have your timing right, you are out of play for most of the time. So infringement call against France. 2 minutes gone in the second half. South African players will take that advantage. Small little left, right, and playing to the far side of the pool into middle play area. Not a good flick there by South African player, on not finding his partner, but finding the French defender, taking it through the middle. The French players down at the bottom, look at their body position. Another one behind them, just waiting for the puck to pop out. And good play there by Dirk. A lot of pressure on the South African defenders. Big boy Eckhart coming in, pushing it through to his players. Good play there by Michelle. Celia Hart swim up the far side of the pool. Infringement cited against South Africa. South Africa need to be careful here. With in court A, under 24 ladies going up 3-0 against the Dutch team from the Netherlands. South African, note one player being chucked out in this game so far. That's good to see, because there's under 24 league is very physical, and South Africa defenders going down. Small left, right play by the French. South Africa doing very well there, just drawing the French defenders in, and then hard swim to the side of the pool. Brandon goes up, allows the South African defender to take up his position. Infringement cited, and it's a call made. Just waiting for confirmation. Gloving against South Africa. With 3.5 minutes gone in the second half. You can see Henry Mouton going down there. A lot of pressure on him, as I said. Excellent coach that we have. What a privilege to have a coach of that stature. Well done, South Africa, swimming it out to the far side of the pool underneath the substitution box. Picked up by the French defenders. Saved by South Africa. Oh. South Africa pick it up, swim it out, and not hard enough swim. And goal scored by number 3. Number 4, Florentine Douchefoot. Well done. Well, South Africa really need to get back. You know, they were down 2-0 in the first half. Now they're down 4-2 in the second half. They've showed they can score. They just need to swim, do their basics right. Henry Mouton going down. Like I said, Henry Mouton, a man of good composure, excellent knowledge, experience, not just in coaching underwater hockey, but in swimming. Picked up by South Africa, unfortunately stopped. Couldn't pick up that infringement. They're confirming a stick infringement. South Africa just getting the momentum going, and stopped by the ref. Come on, South Africa, come on, boys. South Africa up 5-0 in court A against the Dutch team. South African men having a very tough game later today against New Zealand. They need to get their structures right. Need to get back into the French half. As I said, later today they'll play a very good, well-machined New Zealand team. The ladies will play against France, so they also have a tough game later today. And South Africa get the puck out to Carl Broodryk. And good follow-up by South Africa. Good defense by the French players. South Africa need to keep driving. Infringement called every time we get momentum. Stoppage and play. This time, fortunately for South Africa, against the French white team. And Court B, game number 119. South Africa down 4-2. And the score there is 6-0 in Court A for South Africa. Well done to the South African team. After a hard-fought draw last night, they come back. Brandon picking up. And let's see if he can... Good tap down by the French forward there, not allowing that beautiful flick from South Africa to find his forward. Picked up by South Africa. Come on, offload at the right time, out to the far side of the pool. Sometimes it's good to open up space, not just swim straight to the goal. Waiting for Brandon to follow up. Brandon's got good skills here. Picked up by the South African defenders. By the middle bar, straight swim, keep on swimming. Oh. Unfortunately, South Africa, another good defensive player. 2-on-1. 3-on-1 as the South African forwards just taking a breather there. The French players in their substitution box are doing quick substitutions. Fresh legs coming in, stopping the wave. On the far side of the pool, South Africa players down. Good play there by both teams, not budging. And South Africa working it up. Good play there by Ryan van Zyl. South Africa backs coming into play. Come on, South Africa, punch it through. Good punch there. Infringement called against South Africa. With 7 minutes to go, 4-2 down. Still lots of hockey to take place. And hopefully South Africa can get into the danger area. They know what to do. French players are playing a good match here, catching South Africa offside with that early goal. Picked up by France, and hard swimmers, that'll be very difficult to stop. And the only way it was stopped was by the ref. Right, so South Africa playing against France with French leading 4-2 with 6 minutes 22 seconds to go. In this second half, timed out called by Henry Mouton, the coach of the South African U24M team. Right, so South Africa playing against France in Court B. And in Court A, South Africa playing against the Dutch under-24 ladies team. They up 7-0 with 6.5 minutes to go in Court A. Watching here from our commentating box, I've got the privilege of seeing the big screen. And in Court B, we've got to watch the monitor. And the game you're seeing is exactly the game that I'm seeing here. The footage, the coverage, not like in Court A. We can see the whole pool through the commentating box. Right, South Africa get the call of that strong attack by the French, was stopped by infringement, and Elmar Salier probably to slide it out to his provincial partner player. Brandon picked up by the French players. Cameron with a hard drive. Number 3, Ryan van Zyl, sorry, Cameron's number 13, Ryan's number 3, a good swim by Ryan, still swimming. Let's see if the South African players can capitalize on this good attack. Henry definitely said something right here. South Africa, keep it on the wall. Keep it on the wall. They don't want the French players to open play. And a good play there by South Africa. Good turn by number 9, Dirk van Reenen, putting Ryan onto the attack, opening up play. Just not finding his forward. Number 9 again, Dirk van Reenen getting his body into position. 3 French players picking up the puck underneath his body just as he went through offload, putting pressure on the South African defense into open play. The French players love open play. They don't like to be confined into a box. They want to open it up. 5 minutes to go. South Africa had a good position earlier on. Good swim here, that Matthew Pennon. Right, South Africa. Number 10 there, that's Carl Broodryk picking it up. Small curl, offloading onto the South African wing on the outside there. Eckhart Engelbrecht, number 11. Support coming in from the back there. Looked like Austin Elfrink. And coming into play there at the back there. Ryan van Zyl just waiting for the opportunity. And out it comes. And, oh, just a small little move by the defender there. Not allowing Ryan to capitalize on that open space there. And picked up by the, luckily for South Africa. Small little fumble, just missed the puck. Picked up by South African defenders. Trying to turn onto the left-handed French player into the corner with 4 minutes to go. South Africa down 4-2. Brandon van Beek would love to get some speed behind his fins. And the only way you can do that is by kicking. Unfortunately for South Africa, the French players aren't allowing South Africa speechless to go. Gloving infringement called and team timeout called by the French white team. Coach deciding that's it. I need to talk to my boys. And obviously, if you don't use your timeout, you lose it. You can't carry it over to the next half or even to the next match. Gives Henry the opportunity as well, just to confirm his trust in his players. Henry Mouton never showing a lot of emotion. Solid coach that we have there, very proud of the man. The head coach of the under 19 men and under 24 men. South Africa bringing 11 players in this under 24 men division, with Lorcan sitting out for this game. Lorcan from KZN. White timeout, 3 seconds to go. South Africa puck on the 2 meter line, 6 meters in, flicked out to Brandon, picked up by the French defender. Right, not Ryan, that is Mr. Brandon. And look at the French players, 1, 2, 3 there, just not allowing South Africa any space to open it up. Good play there by the French defenders. On the far side of the substitution box in the corner, good video coverage here. And brought out, good stop there by Dirk. A lot of pressure on the South African defenders, and that should be a goal. Waiting for confirmation. Yeah, South Africa with the start after the white timeout. They had the advantage puck. Just one small little mistake, and the French capitalize on their good position by having 3 defenders swimming in onto Brandon, not allowing him to swim away. Goal scored by South Africa in the first half by Cameron Eckhart. At least they've got 2 and not 0, but I think South Africa probably going down in the first half by that early goal within the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds. South Africa can still come back here with 2.5 minutes to go, 5-2 down. It will be a miracle. Unfortunately not if they allow this play. Infringement call. As a white French player has been cited by the ref and been asked to sit on the side. That's underneath the South African substitution box. South Africa get the advantage. Let's see if we get some roll going. Kom aan manne. Suid-Afrika is lyk my soos Elmar wat die pak vat daarso. Probeer hom uitkry na die vleuel toe. Onderskep deur Franse spelers. 2 manne wat hulle afsny. Baie drukkie op Suid-Afrika se agterbad. En 'n klein draaitjie. En weer eens Suid-Afrika wat die Franse toelaat om hard te swem. Fransmanne is hulle 5-2 voor. Gaan nie toelaat dat Suid-Afrika 'n goal score. Hulle wil graag met 6-2 maak. Goeie spel daar die Franse. Suid-Afrika wat inkom. Kom in Suid-Afrika, ons is agter julle. Kyk hierdie klein Franse mannetjie wat reg deur ons spelers swem. Hy kry sy hele liggaam se postuur in die regte posisie. Good play, good example of getting your body in the right position. And as soon as you start kicking with your body being so low down, very difficult to stop. Infringement called with 1 minute to go. That'll be the final score of this match probably. 5-2. Hopefully the French don't score from this good position, as the infringement's called against South Africa. And that gentleman won't join the match again. I'm not sure who that is. Sitting on the side of the pool. The French hard in the attack, 5 South African players against 5 French players. It's the French players swimming it into open space right in front of the South African goal box. Good pressure. South Africa can't stop that wave. Once again, 6-2. So Elmar Salia being asked to sit on the side, the vice captain. That's a very good score for the French, with Florentine Dusfort scoring that goal for the French, 6-2. He has scored quite a few goals. I think that's his 3rd goal for the match. South Africa going up 10-0 against the Dutch team. With still 8 minutes to go in that half. South Africa down 6-2 against a well-oiled French machine who came hard at South Africa from the kickoff. Not a good score for South Africa under 24 men. South Africa under 19 men. In the background, you can hear probably the Colombians coming onto pool deck with their energy. South Africa losing 2-1 in their GB game and now going down 6-2 for the 24 men in game 119 with 6 seconds to go. That'll be the final score, and Elmar won't join this game either. Right, so that's game, set and match. Very unfortunately for South Africa, but believe me, they'll come back against New Zealand. They had 2 relatively easy wins yesterday. Sometimes that brings you off your momentum. Good play there by the French. Well done to the French team. It was a good game, and on the overlay you'll see all the sponsors. We'll talk to you later today. Thank you. Yeah.